All right, welcome to the first session for Group 2 in Dowreth's Return. We've got a whole new cast of players and characters here, so they're just going to take a moment to introduce themselves before we get started.
So, hi, I go by Ailey, but my character's name is Fredwin Ian Farron. He is a half-elf wizard, and he's somewhat awkward socially, but he always tries to do what's best. He recently was conned into buying a pet stop, which on the second day, when he opened it, he realized that most of the pets that they sold him were summoned animals, and his stock was completely depleted. So he's trying to figure out how to make amends for that, as well as pay off some debts that happened from that. So I think that's how I start out.
I go by Animander, but I am playing Grun Soft Tusk, half-orc cleric of Kelemvor, god of death and the dead. He was abandoned as a young child because his tusks are very blunt and smooth and never really grew, and so he was shunned from his orc tribe. Found by Father Sean Evanwood, the priest of Kelemvor, and the gravekeeper for Khor'thun. And Grun has been raised to replace him as the gravekeeper ever since. And that's about where I start too.
Hi everyone, I'm Arizella, but my character's name is Ariadna Sandspitter, and she's a bit of a nomad. Recently joined the Khor'thun army, a human paladin of the Silver Flame. Never met a stranger, and that's about it.
Hi, my name's Trevor. I'm playing Gaelen Elmthorn, a 180-year-old wood elf, former huntsman turned monk. I am in service of the Sand Snake, but I do not worship. Gaelen finds that people worship something for what it can do for them. I seek only to bring stability and merriment. My tools are my bow, my fists, and an amazing skill at brewing and consuming the finest ales and wines in the land.
I guess that's me. I'm Snowman. I'm playing quote-unquote Skippy. He's a beginner-level rogue halfling who's originally from the Kingdom of the Sun. Unfortunately, he happened to liberate something from noblemen in that city that caused him to be ostracized from there. So he's traveled a long way to Khor'thun to seek a new place to live and thrive. He's kind of a small, dirty-looking street urchin type of a guy, kind of shifty-eyed and skittish is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, other than that, that's it, I think.
Khor'thun has been the seat of power of the Sand Empire for hundreds of years. Most of its people worship the great sand snake, which protects them from harm. People from all areas of the Sand Empire make pilgrimages to the great sand snake temple, which is south of Khor'thun, where they leave offerings of coins, art, gems, and food. Although the great sand snake has not been seen for generations, the vast majority of people still revere it. On top of that, there's also a slave trade that is alive and well in the city, with both native Sand Empire citizens and far-off outsiders being bought and sold. The slaves are, by law, treated with respect. They're not allowed to go hungry. They're simply not paid, but they are given comfortable accommodations and are allowed to live their lives as they see fit, so long as they serve their masters. Families are never separated or anything like that. So it's kind of a softer take on slavery, which most people in the Empire are okay with. The adventure today begins in the wet season. You are in the desert. You're close to the equator for the world, but it's not particularly hot right now. And we're going to start off with our monk Gaelen in the temple. And so I just sent you a private message with the last bit being that your temple guardian has asked you to bring a cart of booze to the hot drink pub in Khor'thun.
Okay, Galen finishes his conversation with Uri the Gentle and gathers up his cart and his barrels of wine and ale, and very laboriously starts to haul those toward town. Part of him is really hoping that he sees his friend the cleric along the route.
Yeah, you're up pretty early this morning, so by the time you get down the road, you do see that your friend Grun is in his hut, which is odd. He's usually out in the field digging graves, but today he's at home.
Galen waves.
Grun sees him waving and goes out to greet him. Good morning. How are you today?
Well met, Kin Grun. It is good to see you. Would you mind lending me a hand?
Of course not. Of course not. Give me just a moment to gather a few things, and I will be right with you. Grun will just pop back in, gather up a few of his articles, his holy symbol and prayer books and things like that. Gather those up, and then assist Gaelen in pushing the cart to town.
Kin Grun, if I may, we may have spoken a little about those visions I'd been having while meditating. I thought perhaps, Kin Grun, you would guide me, as you seem to have a specialty in, the dead.
Yes, I do have a bit of an affinity, I guess you could say. Certainly, please. What can I help you with?
Well, I mean, my visions are always fuzzy, and they've been incredibly fuzzy up until now, but they seem to be coming into focus, and disturbingly so. I mean, I can't tell you any details because I don't know any details, but what I can tell you is that they have come into focus, and it does seem to be a very disturbing thought that the dead will be descending upon us.
That is most ominous. That is greatly unsettling, as I as well have had visions of late. I feel Kelemvor attempts to speak to me and to Father Sean. We felt a great sense of unease from our deity of late, and I as well have had some greatly disturbing visions of the dead and the scales of Kelemvor coming unbalanced. This does not bode well with your vision as well.
Well, let us consider it, and I will muse on it more during my meditations. For now, let's just continue on with our day. Perhaps we should talk more with our elders.
Indeed, Father Sean gave me the day that he might commune with Kelemvor, so perhaps later on he shall have some answers for us. For now, let us speak of greater, enjoyable things, bright things. Let us speak of drink and laughter whilst we make our way to town.
So the monk and cleric continue on their way, It's going to be a while before they get to the inn. And during that time, our small rogue Skippy approaches the library.
Well, I will probably look around to see if there is um, an entrance that's obvious, that maybe a side entrance or something like that that I could go through.
There is a main entrance. It's a grand library in the middle of the city, close to the Emperor's Palace, which is in the northeast. It's a triangular building inside triangular walls that you can see on the map that I shared there. And just to the west of those walls is the grand library. There is, as I said, the main entrance, which has statues of lions off to the side, and a large marble staircase that leads up to double doors. But as you take a look around the building, you do find a back door as well.
Okay. Skippy is used to not being allowed into sort of official buildings like this just because of his appearance and whatnot. So he will probably make his way to the back door and see if it's guarded.
It's not.
Okay, he'll kind of look around, and if nobody's watching him, he'll try to open the door.
It opens, no problem at all.
All right, he'll slip into the library, looking around, trying to get his bearings as quickly as possible.
Okay, you're in a small entry chamber, and there are stairs that go down to the basement. There's a door that leads to what is probably the main floor, and stairs up as well.
Okay, I will make my way to the main doors, hoping to find him on the main floor.
Okay, you poke around the main floor for a bit. It's a large, open, just one single room throughout the whole level, with stacks upon stacks of books. There are desks at the front where there are people working away, cataloging scrolls and texts. Some people copying from one old tome to a newer, but they're all very busy, and they don't take any notice of you at all. But you don't see anybody who fits the description of the person you were sent to find here.
Okay, I will duck back into the stairwell, I guess, and I will try my way down then.
Okay, you head down the stairs, and there's not even a door down here. It just opens up through a stone archway, and down here it's much dimmer. It's all the only light comes from candles, and you do see a wizardly-looking fellow sitting at a table nearby, and you also see that this room is not just one single room like the upper floor, or the main floor, sorry. There's also a section that is walled off, and doors in the wall, and a desk out front with a librarian sitting at it, and she appears quite severe. She has a scary-looking spiked mace on the table beside her, and she looks up at you as you come in.
I will avoid her gaze and just kind of try to shuffle my way as sort of casually as possible towards the mage that seems to fit the description that I'm looking for.
Fredwin, you see a small halfling out of the corner of your eye, edging towards you as her studying in the basement of the library.
Oh, hello.
Greetings. My name is Skippy. Are you by any chance working for Saraqua?
Not that I'm aware of.
She might disagree with you. She is looking for a book that you apparently have.
Oh, I don't have it. This nice librarian, she wouldn't let me have it. She says it's too dangerous, so I kind of just decided not to get it.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. The people that have sent me are very concerned about getting this book as quickly as possible.
Do you know why they want it?
It's not for Skippy to question his masters. He's here just to do his bidding. Can I help you, by any chance, find this book?
Well, I know where the book is. The librarian has it in the room upstairs, but from what I understand, it's extremely dangerous, and you might want to rethink who you're working for.
Dangers are often measured uh, differently between two opposing forces, and I fear that Sarqua might be a bigger danger than the book.
Well, all I know is that librarian over there, she is very serious, and I'm not sure we're getting that book away from her anyway, so I don't know. I just thought it would be too much trouble, and I can pay her back the money for the pet problem.
I fear at this point the interest on the loan that was given might be too far to your means. Only the book will suffice.
Well, it wasn't a loan. See, it's a business transaction. So, if you want your money back, I'll give you your money back.
Well, I see nothing for this but for us to get the book. Unfortunately, our destinies are tied to this, for I too am indentured to Saraqua, and if we don't provide this book, I fear the recompense.
Well, I don't know if you have a plan or not, but I kind of think it's out of our reach even. I think we might want to think about some other plan if you're saying this is that important to the person. Um, from what I understand from the librarian, though, it's not worth it, really. I don't know if I can convince you of that.
Perhaps we could work together. If you provide a distraction of some sort, maybe perhaps I can slip in and liberate the book for Sarqua, therefore freeing both of us from our indenture.
Hmm. I suppose I could do that. I don't know. I'm Let me talk it over with Fizzle. Fizzle's my dog, by the way. He's my familiar.
Ah, that's a good idea. You never know when a hot meal will come at a price. It's good to have a dog, just in case you get hungry.
Why, he's not an eating dog. I don't think there's much on him, but still, he's also, a familiar.
I've heard familiars are quite tasty.
Well, you keep away from my dog, mister.
It's fine. I have plenty of food I can share. And with that, he pulls out some food out of various pockets and kind of offers it to you. It's nothing appealing, that's for sure. It seems like it's got pocket lint pieces of rock, in with it. He has like shiny rocks and stuff like that. It just is.
I'm sorry. I'm sort of on a diet, but I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go talk to the librarian, and if you go into that room, it's nothing I've done. Okay.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna go talk to the librarian.
While he's talking to the librarian, I'm going to try to slip into the shadows and see if I can hide from her.
Make a stealth check. While he's doing that, Fredwin, what are you going to say to the librarian? As soon as you get up, she has her eyes on you, and she kind of scowls.
I'm gonna ask her if she's got any books on summoned animals, because I'm trying to figure out what this bag I have does.
I believe that spellcasting books are on the second floor, where wizards tend to study.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of books up there. I just wondered if you knew, like, specifically if there were any that covered, just summoned creatures.
Books on the second floor are not my concern. You can ask a librarian up there for help if you need it, Fredwin.
Okay, sorry to trouble you. I just was, interested. I had all these animals, and I didn't realize they were summoned. I didn't know if there was a way I could just tell beforehand. Maybe it was my own stupidity or something. I don't know. Did you ever hear about the pet shop? It was a good pet shop.
Apparently not as good as you thought it was. And can you please tell your friend to stop skulking around the stacks?
My friend, I don't know that guy.
An awfully long conversation for strangers.
I think he heard about the pet shop. I was just, wanting to get into a business, and I thought, hey, all these animals, they would be cool to, just, keep in, because I've got my Fizzle here. Have you ever met Fizzle? He's pretty cool.
Yes, I have met your dog.
Anyway, so I tried to open a pet store, but it turned out all the animals were summoned, and now I'm kind of in a bind. So, that's just kind of how it goes.
While he's talking, I'll assume that I'm completely invisible and work my way into the room with the book of danger.
The doorway to that room with the quote-unquote book of danger is immediately behind the desk that the librarian is at.
Anyway, so the only thing that was left over in the pet shop after all the animals disappeared was this bag. And I can show you what the bag does if I just reach in and pull something out, and I pull something out of this bag.
Oh no. Okay, roll for it.
Is it super obvious that she's like tracking me as I kind of move around behind her?
Yes. You can see that she's keeping an eye on you while she's also splitting her attention between you and Fredwin.
So apparently that summoned a weasel.
Put that thing away. We don't need wild animals in the library.
Put it away? I'm not sure he goes back in the bag.
Well, then what do you do with it once you've pulled it out of the sack?
I guess you just, you pet him for a while and he becomes friendly. You get to keep him for a day, and you can name him something. Here, I'll let you have him. It's fine.
I don't want the weasel. Keep it away from me.
Well, it's housebroken, I'm pretty sure.
Drop the weasel.
Well, the weasel gets away from me, so now I'm not sure where he is.
The librarian glares at you and says, "Go and find it. I'm not leaving my station."
Okay, I'm sorry. I just, I thought you could use a friend or something. I don't know. Here,
I
Weasel,
have
Weasel.
enough friends.
So I asked Fizzle to go hunt down the weasel. So now there's a dog chasing a weasel.
And probably barking a lot.
Oh, good. The librarian is extremely upset with you right now, and puts a hand on her mace.
I will look shocked at the weasel and kind of scream, "Oh, it's a weasel loose in the library!"
Okay. While that dog and weasel show is going on, we're going to go over to Ariadna. It is early in the morning. You have finished your training routines with the army, and you have some free time to do what you want. Is there anything that you wanted to do this morning?
I want to head over to the library because I've been missing my friend Freddie.
Okay. So by the time you get there, you hear somebody screaming about a weasel in the library, and knowing Fredwin as you do, you can only imagine that he is getting himself into trouble down there.
I'm going to stroll on in.
Okay, yeah, you see Fizzle running after a weasel through the stacks. Make a perception check. You see a halfling kind of looking like he's trying to hide amongst the book stacks, and Fredwin as well is doing whatever he's doing right now.
Freddie, everything okay?
Well, I don't know what's going on. There's a weasel, and I was thinking about trying to, summon another animal to catch the weasel, but
Maybe that's not the best idea. I'm going to have a chat with the librarian.
Can I try to make another stealth roll while she distracts the librarian to get further into the shadows?
Yes, she is sufficiently distracted when Ariadna comes down as well that you can make another check.
Meanwhile, I'm going to be saying to the librarian, golly, miss, I'm so sorry about all of this. My friend Fred here, sometimes he doesn't think ahead, and he's a lovely person. You just have to really understand that, he loves animals, and I can't fault a person for that, can you?
We don't need wild animals in the library. And Skippy, you get the sense that she is now thoroughly flustered and had lost track of you in the chaos.
okay, Fizzle, chase him into that corner over there.
Well, maybe I can help. I'm going to stomp over toward the corner where Fizzle is chasing the weasel and probably make an awful lot of noise since I'm wearing heavy plate or heavy armor.
What a wonderful distraction. He'll slip into the room.
The room is locked.
Awesome. I'm going to try to pick the lock while everybody's watching.
Okay.
Fizzle! Come here, Fizzle!
So I cast Prestidigitation and make it like a big popping light show so that it scares the weasel into the corner I'm trying to get it into. It kind of sounds like fireworks.
You went from being very reluctant to very heavy participant.
Well, I'm trying to catch this weasel before it eats somebody.
Skippy, you managed to unlock the lock.
Yay, I'll slip in.
Was it a giant weasel?
Well, I mean, it's being cornered by, an 8-pound dog, so I don't think it's that big. Speak?
That's perfect. Okay, so
Fizzle.
you get into the back room successfully, and you see there aren't actually many books in this room. There are individual books on lecterns that are all closed, and there's only 8 books in here.
Great. And, to Skippy, one book looks exactly like another book. So He's going to assume that they want the most expensive looking book, and he'll probably pick that one.
You pick up a random book in the room that looks expensive.
All right, he'll make it with sleight of hand. He'll make it slip into his folds of his robe, and quickly make his way out.
Give me a stealth check on the way out, please.
I'm still clattering around and yelling for Fizzle, who is avoiding me because he's still chasing the weasel.
That's more like it.
You escape the room undetected.
I will lock the door.
Okay, give me a thieves' tool check.
The base skill for that is sleight of hand, right?
Yeah. You fiddle with the lock and don't manage to get it locked again.
What do weasels eat, Fred? Maybe we could lure it out with some food.
I will abandon the lock and...
Where did that halfling go? He had
wait,
some
wait.
stuff.
At mention of the halfling, the librarian looks around and sees him back where he was before all the chaos started. She shoots Skippy a scowling look.
I will cringe visibly under the look.
All I've got with me are rations, and I doubt anybody'd want those, let alone a weasel.
Well,
I have some food. Here. There's some dog food I have.
Is it food for dogs or food made of dogs?
You know, I can't remember.
Whatever, good enough. Hand it over.
Okay, he hands over some dirty, lint-covered food that comes out of a pocket that seems to be bulging with other stuff.
I'm going to start sprinkling the food all along the inside of the library toward the door. Freddy, call up Fizzle.
Oh, sure. And hey, Fizzle, come here. And also, Weasel, come here. I forgot I can just ask him.
Oh, you mean I wasted all this food for nothing?
I mean, somebody could have it.
Skippy starts picking it up.
I attempt to help Skippy pick it up.
He gives you a very gracious smile.
I pat the weasel on his little obedient head. Well, he's actually quite large for a giant weasel, but...
We should go, I think. I kind of whisper to you, hopefully so the other person doesn't hear.
Sorry to cause all the trouble. I wave at the librarian.
Just out! I've had it with all of you. I'm closing the library early.
But morning has only broken. What about all the young people that want to learn in your library?
They can study upstairs.
Very well. I'm leaving. Thank you.
Sorry again for the trouble, madam.
You sure you don't want a pet weasel for a week? Now that I've realized how this works, I can probably make sure you can have one.
Maybe you could
Out.
rent pets, Freddy.
Interesting concept.
As you're leaving, you see her turn towards the door behind her and grasp a ring of keys at her belt.
I book it.
As you run, yells of alarm come up behind you as the librarian discovers the door is unlocked.
I'm going to whisper to Freddy, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. The guy wanted a distraction, so I gave him a distraction because this lady who is very nice wanted me to get a book for her, and then I don't know. I'm just so confused.
Let's talk about it later. I'm going to grab Freddy and drag him off.
So the three of you sprint out of the library and come out to find the cleric of Kellenbor and one of the monks from Sand Snake Temple hauling their cart towards a nearby pub. And the librarian is on your heels when you all hear screams coming from the north of the city.
What?
Oh, good. Another distraction.
I'm gonna haul Freddy off that direction.
What's going on?
I don't know what all that racket is, but we need to find out.
Well, I suggest you follow me. I know cities, and I can lead you through the secret passages of the city until you get to the other place. I can speed up our travel.
What other place?
I'm gonna take a moment of glowering, but that librarian's coming on, and she looks pretty cranky. Okay, fine, let's go.
Ryan, I'm going to be using the street urchin benefit that allows me to double my speed through the city, and for my anybody that I'm leading as well. City secrets. You know the secret patterns and flows of the city, and can find passages through the urban sprawl that others would miss when you are not in combat. You and your companions, when you're not in combat, can travel between any two locations as fast as your speed would normally allow.
Okay, well, you guys haven't entered into combat yet. The librarian hasn't gotten to you, so I will allow that. Now, which direction are you planning on going through the city?
I'll lead them towards the screams.
Okay, is everybody following the little halfling rogue?
I am, and I have a hold on Freddy, so he is too.
Yeah, I go wherever
Ariadna.
Ariadna goes. Ariadna.
Gaelen and Grun, you're there as well when you've heard these screams, and you see three people charging towards the noise that's coming. Grun, you have a sinking feeling about this, as though your god is sending you a message that darkness has come.
I look to Gael.
Yes, King Grun. I agree. They look like they're heading towards what is going on. We should assist.
So the five of you are running through narrow alleys between buildings, heading towards where you're hearing screams, and you come through some alleyways, dodging this way and that, and looking straight down towards the merchant docks. You all stop as you see this enormous ship coming steaming straight towards the docks, full speed ahead. And it hits with a sickening crash. The docks themselves, the wood just splinters apart, and this metal-hulled ship, looking very much of gnomish design, smashes right up onto shore.
Gaelen looks around to see if there's any citizens that have been injured or need assistance.
Grun is doing the same thing.
Me too.
It looks like everybody got away before the impact. People were scattering down the streets, getting away from the impending accident. They saw it coming a long way out. There are a couple of ships out at sea, and it looks that they had warned people away before impact. And now there's curious onlookers coming back, wondering what the heck happened here. For those of you who are from Khor'thun, you know that gnomish ships haven't ever been allowed to dock at the merchant docks for specifically this reason. They're simply not meant, they're not built to dock here. They have special docks in the gnomish city of Steamton that allow them to dock, and nobody else has them. So why this ship decided to come aground is anybody's guess.
Can I see any like crew on the ship at all? Like, any people scattered around the the top of the ship?
Perception check.
While that's happening, Grun would like to call out to everybody, like all the crowd, to stay away still. Who knows what might still happen.
Yeah, keeping the civvies back away from the crash seems like a good idea at this point. So I'm gonna march up there and start waving people away.
I'm going to go actually just kind of go up to the ship and see what I can see, just because I'm curious.
Skippy, you do see some motion up top as the metal hull of the ship buckles and the whole thing kind of rolls to the side. You see some figures spill out of the top of the ship onto the ground.
Okay, and is there anything particularly special about these figures?
Before that, anybody who's trying to keep civilians away from the crowd, please make persuasion checks or intimidation or any kind of social thing that you're good at that you're trying to do to get people away from the ship.
So I suppose I'm roaring, "Get back, you buggers!"
Yeah, Ariadna starts yelling at the top of her lungs, and people take notice even over all the chaos, and they start backing away from the ship. Not really sure why they're backing away, but they're going to listen to this paladin in their midst who's part of the army.
And Grun's just saying, like, folks, it crashed for some reason. Who knows? You could still be in danger. Just keep a safe distance back, just in case.
Skippy, you notice that the figures are, some of them are wearing sailors' uniforms, but some of them aren't wearing anything at all, right down to being skeletal in nature, as though someone was transporting skeletons on board the ship.
Well, that's no good. I will yell out, "It's the undead!" causing a major panic.
The people around you look at you curiously. They're not really sure what to make of that until they look over at the ship and see those skeletons starting to pick themselves up off the ground, as well as the sailors, and all of the bodies begin to move. And it's obvious that these sailors have been long dead as well. And the skeletons surround them and drive their swords into the zombies.
Well, isn't that different? I'm gonna draw my sword anyway.
Gaelen calls out, "Kin Grun, your assistance immediately!"
Of course, I'm with you.
Maybe we should let the skeletons finish off the zombies first.
I can't say that's not actually a terrible idea, but we have to keep the citizens safe.
If anything exits that boat, I'm wrecking it.
There's a lot of things exiting the boat. There's about a dozen skeletons now and 3 zombies outside. And despite the skeletons each thrusting their blades into the zombies are continuing to come forward. Some of the city guard has arrived and are also trying to help.
Seeing that other people are getting into the fight, Grun's going to get into the fight too, because you can't just stand back and watch other people fight.
Agreed.
Initiative, please. All right, Skippy, you're up first. You see 3 zombies spread out by about 30 feet from each other, each surrounded by 4 skeletons.
I will pull out my hand crossbow and aim at one of the zombies and fire.
Okay, you can make an attack roll. That's a hit.
Ouch. Oh.
Zombies suck. Okay, so your your little hand crossbow bolt strikes the zombie in the chest, and it doesn't look too happy about it, and it turns towards you. Ariadna, you are up next.
How far away am I from the one that he just stuck an arrow in?
You are about 30 feet away from that one. There's also 2 skeletons standing in front of it to either side, and 2 skeletons behind it to either side.
All right, well, I'm going to take up a position in between Skippy and the thing he just stuck an arrow in, because I'm encumbered and only have 20 feet of movement. So And prepare an attack, I guess, in case anything comes within range.
Okay. Gale, you're up next.
Gaelen will stumble through, trying to maneuver around to the opposite side of one of the zombs to facilitate advantage for our ranged shooters, and he will attack that zombie.
Sorry, the one that Skippy just attacked?
Yes.
Okay. That's a hit. All right. You charge in there and you pound that zombie in the face, and its skull just explodes and it drops to the ground, unmoving.
I'll move to the next one.
The next zombie?
Okay, so I feel like the skeletons are also aggro us.
Yeah, you've got two skeletons right beside you.
Yeah, one of them then.
Okay. That's a hit. Okay, and at this point, a bunch of city guards come charging in as well and start engaging the skeletons. But they're all equipped with swords, and you can actually see some of their weapons sliding between bones and not being overly useful, but they do manage to take out one of the skeletons in an adjacent group and hurt the zombie that's with that group a bit.
What happened to the skeleton that got hit just now?
It's still up and moving. And it's the skeletons' turns.
They're not supposed to get a turn, are they?
They are, whether you like it or not.
Bah, this game.
Gaelen, I assume an 11 misses.
Sorry, yes.
11 misses, yeah, okay. That one didn't.
That's another assumption.
You don't have a 21 armor class. I don't think anybody does. You take 7 points of damage, and please make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Yikes.
All right. So it stabs into you with the short sword, and it really doesn't feel very good. But that's mostly just being stabbed. But as you're being stabbed, you do notice that the blade is already covered in gore from where they had poked into the zombie with their weapons.
Ew.
Gaelen will majorly recoil from that damage too. It is the lion's share of his entire hit points.
Ariadna, does an 18 hit your armor class?
My armor class is 18.
Okay.
But does that mean something's up close to me now?
Yeah, the two skeletons that had been behind the zombie came around their companions and are now standing in front of you and stabbing at you with their swords. You take 7 points of damage, and please make a Constitution saving throw. All right, and now it is Fredwin's turn.
Yikes. So I still have, well, first of all, I'm going to cast Ray of Frost on whichever skeleton just stabbed my friend Ari.
Okay, there's two of them. One to her right, one to her left.
I guess the left.
Okay.
It's a hit DC of +5. So what do I roll for that? I'm not sure.
So wait, I'm sorry. Can I just get rule clarification here? So did I get to take my ready action, or is that not a thing we're doing?
Right, I forgot. You can attack as well.
Okay. Do you want to finish up with Fred first then?
You should probably attack first, and while you're doing that, I will tell Fredwin that to make an attack with your Ray of Frost, it is an attack roll with your spell attack modifier on it. So D20 plus whatever your spell modifier is. And Ariadna, you hit.
And my weapon is magical, by the way,
Okay.
but mostly slashing.
Okay, so you hit one of the skeletons and smack your weapon right into it, and some bones chip away from it. Ailey, you also hit with your Ray of Frost.
Well, that was not great.
Thanks for coming out.
As my bonus action, though, I'm going to tell my weasel to attack the skeleton.
All right. That's a hit. All right. So this skeleton that's come up on the left of Ariadna is looking in pretty rough shape now. It's It's got a weasel hanging off of its spine, chewing on it. Yeah, it's rough. The zombies, you guys don't have to worry about now because you killed the zombie in your group, but you can see the zombies slamming their fists into city guards to your left and right. And you hear one of the city guards screaming out, and a quick glance shows you that the zombie is biting into the guard's neck. And finally, it is Grun's turn.
All right, so Gaelen, you said you were really badly hurt.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good.
All right, so I will walk up and cast Cure Wounds on you.
You're healing Gaelen?
Yeah, I'm healing Gaelen for apparently 6.
Okay. Yes, you can do that without provoking an attack of opportunity, so no problem. You're in the mess now, too.
Yeah, okay. And then you said, Ariadna, you were hurt as well?
Yes. I think I took like 7.
Oh, okay. So you're not severely hurt. Okay.
Well, I only have 4 left.
Oh, that is okay. Yeah, you were severely hurt. Then I'll use my bonus action to use Healing Word.
Those are both first level spells. You can't cast 2 level spells in one round.
Even if one's an action, one's a bonus action?
That's right. The rules, as stated, say that you can cast a bonus action spell that has a level, and then if you want to do a full action spell, it has to be a cantrip.
Okay. I think I'm still gonna have to go the way I did then, and then in that case I'm going to use. So when you say I'm in the midst of it, how many skeletons are around me? Within like 5 feet of me.
There's a couple.
Word of Radiance, then. That's a cantrip. So they have to roll Constitution saving throws or take 1d6 radiant. So with a save of 13.
All right. So they take how much damage?
4 points of radiant.
All right. The skeleton that had a weasel in its back goes down. All right, Skippy, you're up.
Oh, we don't roll initiative again?
No, we just use the same initiative roll every round.
Oh, nice. Okay. And there's still zombies standing?
Yes, there are zombies in the group to your left and to your right. There isn't one in the group that your group is fighting.
I will fire at the nearest zombie. Either that or Fredwin's dog. One of the two, whichever's closest.
You're going to shoot the familiar?
No, I'm kidding.
That's a quick way to make a really mean enemy.
Laugh, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll fire at the nearest zombie to the group.
Okay, so choose either left or right. They're both equidistant.
Okay, I'll choose right.
Okay. And Gaelen, no, there's no zombies adjacent to you. You still have 3 skeletons right around you, though. Hit. Nice shot. The zombie's still up, but you've definitely drawn its attention towards you. Ariadna, you're up next.
I will attack the other skeleton that's trying to chew on me.
Okay.
Oh, I might not be done, actually, because Gaelen just pointed out that I should get my sneak attack.
Yes, there is a city guard within 5 feet of that zombie, so you can do some more damage. Zombie. Oh, just a sec. You get the zombie right in the head, and it lets go of the guard whose neck it was chewing on and falls dead to the ground.
I will cheer.
That's a hit. All right, and so Ari hits the other skeleton and does some damage to it, breaking some rib bones off. And Gaelen, it's your turn next.
I am still adjacent to some skeletons?
Yes, you have the one that you hit last turn beside you. You've got another one beside you. And the one attacking Ariadna is just behind you.
Do I have flanking on that one?
Not currently. No. Because I can take a picture of the background if you'd like.
Actually, if you could just tell me if I can step to flanking without provoking an attack of opportunity, I will do so.
No, one of them would get an attack of opportunity on you if you tried to move.
Okay, I will remove that one from the equation.
You sure will. And it crumples into a pile of bones.
Now I'll step over to flanking with that one.
Okay. Guards.
I'm attacking
Oh,
that.
sorry. What
That
was
one that I'm flanking. I'm attacking that other one that
Oh, okay.
hit there.
Yeah, you hit. Okay. Ariadna, the other skeleton that you were battling, crumples into dust. And in the other groups, you see city guards engaged with the skeletons and zombies still. One zombie left now. And they do a little better this time, taking out a couple of skeletons. And the skeletons get to go next. Grun, an 18 hits you, correct?
It does.
You take 4 points of damage, and please make a Constitution saving throw.
12.
Okay. And you can see in the other groups that the skeletons are just slashing wildly at anybody who's near, drawing blood from several guards, but they're not attacking with any kind of focus that you can see. They're just they're not going to take anybody down. They're just attacking a lot of people. Next up is Fredwin.
So you said there's still one zombie left?
Yes, there's a zombie left in the group to your left.
Is it within range of like one of my spells?
Easily, yeah.
So I'm going to cast Ray of Frost on the zombie.
That's a hit.
And as the bonus action, I'm going to command the weasel again to attack the zombie if he can reach it.
Yeah, the skeletons have been on the side that the weasel was on are all dead, so it's no problem here for him to run off and engage the other group. And that was against the zombie, you said?
Yes.
That's a hit. And the zombie goes down with the crazy viciousness of the weasel biting at its head. All the zombies are dead now, so they don't get a turn. It's Grun.
So Grun is going to shout out for like all the guards and everybody to hear. If a zombie goes down, remove its head. After which he's going to use healing words on Ariadna.
Yeah, actually, that the zombie that the weasel brought down does get up and bites the weasel back, killing it.
So Ariadna, you heal 7, and then I'm going to use Sacred Flame on the zombie that just got up. So it makes a Dex saving throw of trying to beat 13.
I don't think a 1 does it, so it is dead because that's radiant damage, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is permanently killed. Skippy, there are no more zombies left.
Actually, sorry, can I use my movement if there's no zombies or skeletons near me?
There is a skeleton near you.
Okay, never mind then.
I would like to move to a position where I can get flanking on a skeleton and get my sneak attack.
Sure, yeah, that's no problem. It's in range.
I will pull out. Now I'm kind of new to 5e, so I can attack with both my daggers as a bonus action.
Yeah, the second attack takes your bonus action. You get any dex modifier to the attack, but not to the damage roll.
Gotcha. Okay, first attack.
Yeah, it's a hit.
And second attack.
Don't forget your sneak attack dice, too.
Thank you. Now, I have advantage, right, on him, right? So do I roll advantage?
Oh, yeah, because you're flanking.
Okay. Nope. Ooh, that's a crit.
Well, that's a crit. So for a crit, you double the number of damage dice, but you don't double the modifier from your attributes.
Is that right?
All right. So you guys have been chipping away at this skeleton, but it's still going.
Oh, and I
Area.
gotta do sneak attack on that as well.
No, you don't get a second sneak attack. You only got one sneak attack around.
Okay, great, thanks.
No problem. Ariadna, you're up.
Alrighty. So the ones that were near me are dead. Where are the rest of them at?
No, there is still one skeleton that you're engaged with.
Is there? That's why I attacked the zombie, because I thought the ones next to her were all dead.
Yeah,
Nope, there's oh, I'm looking at the wrong one there. Yeah, there's still one beside Gaelen, and now Skippy. But it's about a 5-foot step from you, Ariadna.
Okay, I'm gonna go after that one. Does that mean I get flanking too?
Yeah, you can find a position to flank it. It's a hit.
And flanking is just advantage on the roll, right?
That's right. Yeah, so it's possible that you could roll a 20 if you re-rolled, but you definitely hit it.
Well, I didn't, so.
All right, it is still up, and that makes it Galen's turn.
We have one skeleton still on our bundle, and what's still floating around?
There's 3 skeletons still in the group to the right, and 2 skeletons in the group to the left.
Okay, I'll attack the one that I'm at first. Is this the one that we have flanking on?
Yeah, you can get into flanking position on it too, no problem. That's a hit. And the skeleton goes down.
I'll close on another group, that whatever is most appropriate for me to close so that I get flanking.
Yeah, you can get flanking on one of the skeletons in the group to the right that's been attacking one of the city guard.
I'm also being conscious of not providing cover against my ranged compatriots.
Okay, that's a miss.
Gaelen will try and look like he meant to miss.
I want to know how you make it look like you meant to miss.
Well, Gaelen does use drunken style, so it's just an over stumbling.
All right, sounds good. Next up are the city guards, and they go after the skeletons, and they manage to bring down another one on the group to the right where Gaelen just ran off to. And then the skeletons get to go. The skeleton that you just attempted to attack but missed doesn't even know you're there, so he just continues to go after city guards, and they drop one of the city guards in that group, and a couple more injured over in the other group. Next up is Fredwin.
Oh goodness. Well, since I'm mourning the loss of Wesley, I'm going to take an opportunity just in case to cast Mage Armor on myself, and then use my bonus action to cast Ray of Frost on whichever skeleton that is closest to my friend.
Which friend is that? Sorry,
Ariadna.
That'd be me.
Okay. There's no skeletons anywhere near her right now, so it's either going for the group on the left or the right.
Which group has the halfling, or is he still with us?
The halfling's still with you. The monk has run off to the group on the right.
Then I will hit a skeleton on the right then.
Okay.
Did that not work?
It just took a second, I guess. That's a hit. Okay, so the skeleton that Galen's beside gets hit with a ray of frost, and it turns around and notices the monk there. Next up is Grun.
So Grun's going to head over to the group of guards on the left. And first, are there any of the guards who are down currently? Like down and dying?
No. There are a group of 4 guards here, and they've all been injured.
Okay, so, I mean, like, on the battlefield, within 30 feet, are there any guards who are currently dying?
Close to 30 feet. There's one about 40 feet away in the group to the right.
Okay, so before making my way over to the group to the left, then, I would like to make my way close enough that I'm within 30 feet and cast Spare the Dying upon that guard, and then make my way to the group on the left.
Okay.
Can I get to the skeletons near the group on the left, or not?
No, you won't be able to make it all the way there if you're going back to the group on the right first.
Yeah, okay, that's fine then. Then I will make my way over there, and then I will use Sacred Flame on the closest skeleton on the group on the left, so it makes a dex save of 13 or higher.
It makes it.
Okay, so I think it takes... Yeah, it takes nothing then.
Yep. Skippy, back up to the top of the order with you.
All right. There's still a skeleton sitting in front of me that I have flanking over.
Yes, one of them's facing you, but there's a guard behind him, so you still get advantage.
Excellent. I will attack with my 2 daggers, doing the first attack now.
Sorry, I was thinking of the wrong person. There's nobody that you're around right now. And if you're going over to either group, you won't be able to get flanking on anybody.
All right. Then I will skip the flanking and... Can I get sneak attack?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I will just do regular with sneak attack then. First attack.
That's a miss.
Second attack.
Also a miss.
I will make it look like I just suck at what I'm doing.
Success. Next up is Ariadna.
So the one that Galen's fighting is still up, right?
Yes.
Is it within 20 feet of me?
No, it's about 30 feet away.
All right, well, I will wander 20 feet that direction.
Okay.
And
Like
prepare an
turtle.
attack just in case.
Sounds good.
While cursing the fact that I didn't store all my crap in my bunk.
Yep, storing backpacks helps a lot with that. Gaelen, you're up.
Okay, I will attempt again to hit the one that I missed so horribly at.
You got it this time. And it goes down.
Next target that makes sense that I can close and get flanking.
You haven't used any movement yet this turn, so yeah, you can get flanking on the last skeleton in this group.
Perfect. If that kills the second one, I'm hoping that maybe I could remove its head and throw it at the next group.
It does kill it because they have vulnerability to bludgeoning. So you can. It's a really long throw. I don't think you can throw 60 feet.
Well, I'm not going for damage.
All right, you just whip that skull across the docks, and it skitters along the ground, breaking apart as it comes to rest at one of the skeleton's feet.
Oh, whatever movement I have left, I spend closing on the other group.
Okay, you don't have a whole lot of movement left, but you get a little bit closer anyway. Next up, the city guards attack, and they manage to bring down one of the other skeletons. There's only one left. And that brings us to the skeleton who stabs at somebody but misses. And then it goes to Fredwin.
I'll cast Ray of Frost on the one remaining skeleton.
Okay. No, you won't.
I'll make it look like I was aiming at something else.
No, there's nothing else over there unless you're going to hit a guard.
Scratch that idea then.
Or, you know what? You hit the dead weasel.
Poor
Wesley, no!
Frozen weasel pop.
Next up is Grun.
All right, so I'd like to use the rest of my movement to get closer to the remaining skeletons on the left side. How many are there?
There's only one left.
All right, I'm going to melee that one. I can get myself into a flanking position.
Okay.
So 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
4 damage.
Okay, back to the top of the order for Skippy.
Okay. I will... There's one skeleton left, and I'm assuming I can get flanking on him.
You're pretty far away from it. It's a good 40 feet away from you right now.
Okay, can I pull out my crossbow and fire this round?
Can?
Okay, I will do so. And do I get flanking?
No, but you will get your sneak attack because there's an ally within 5 feet. So that's a hand crossbow that you're using?
That's correct.
Okay, you're actually firing at disadvantage at that range.
Okay.
That's a hit.
Nice. And my sneak? Not so nice.
All right, your little crossbow bolt rings off its skull, but it's still going. Ariadna, you're about 30 feet away from it.
I'm just gonna drop my backpack. How about that? Just drop it right here.
Yeah, you can do that, no problem.
Can I still move then?
Yes.
I'm gonna go and whack a skeleton.
Okay, yeah, you can get in range and give it a whack.
I have flanking.
Yes. And the skeleton goes down.
And the crowd goes wild.
Is combat over?
Combat is over.
I'm gonna go get my backpack back now.
Okay.
Cursing under my breath.
I was going to say, Grun's just going to immediately make sure all the zombies' heads are either removed or smashed, and then otherwise start taking the bodies to be treated so they don't come back as undead again.
Actually, with the one guy that you cast Spare the Dying on, stabilized, there are no dead guards. There are 8 injured guards, but nobody's dead.
Perfect. Then I'll do what I can to see to treating the wounds of any of the injured guards.
And I'm going to attempt lay on hands despite having had recent difficulties with that.
Lay on hands does not work.
Or cursing.
Well, now that we've taken care of this, I think it's time that Fredwin and I have an appointment that we should attend to as quickly as possible, I think.
What are you talking about?
Well, we have to go and talk with our friend.
Freddy?
I don't know. What are you? I'm sorry. I'm confused. Oh, you mean the? Oh. So this lady I sold a bird to, and the bird disappeared, and she asked me to get a book, and then there was the mess in the library, and anyway, we got to go over there.
Whoa. Wait a minute. How well do you know this lady?
I don't know. This guy knows her name.
I'm thinking maybe you shouldn't be going over there alone.
Oh, but he won't be alone. I'll take care of him.
Yeah, I'm coming too.
Are you folks somehow responsible for all of this?
All of what? The
Great
zombies? I
Big
don't think
boat
so.
crashing into the thing?
We weren't anywhere near it. What is this book?
Oh, nothing of consequence. Just our mutual benefactor wishes it.
Freddy?
I don't know what it's about. It's just some book, I guess. Like it was all just a misunderstanding because of the pet store thing, and she bought a bird and the bird disappeared, and
Right.
sort of like the one I sold you.
Right. I get that part, but I didn't ask you to steal anything.
Well, I didn't steal anything.
I prefer the term borrowed.
And when will you be checking this back into the library?
Besides, the place has so many books. They'll hardly miss just one little one.
If that's the case, your employer can come down and request the book from the library themselves. I feel it is time for you to return the book.
That's what I said.
I agree. I should return the book. I'll go there right now.
We'll come with you.
Well, perhaps you could follow me. I have some circuitous routes around the city that you might use.
Well, it worked before.
Sorry, what was that?
I said those routes worked before. Seemed a bit twisted way to get here, but we got here pretty quickly.
We can get to the library quick enough using the main thoroughfares. I don't think there's a need to skulk about.
I really don't understand almost any of the words that are coming out of most of your mouths, but I do feel like I should probably accompany you. I would like to just check quickly to see if anyone else is bleeding to death.
A fine plan. I think we should all go. That sounds like a good plan to me.
I will lead them through a confusing, if it's possible, Ryan. I'd like to try to lead them through as confusing a way as possible, back to the library, but not actually lead them back to the library. Lead them back to kind of where I was supposed to meet Cirqua.
You got 2 locals with you. Probably not going to happen.
And I do know where the library is.
You start making your way, and you don't actually get terribly far before Sarika steps out from behind a building and holds out her hand expectantly. Thank you very much for your assistance, Skippy.
'Tis my pleasure, and I'll pull out the book and put it in her hand.
Is this someone any of us recognize?
She's the bird lady.
Nobody else in the group recognizes Sarika. It's just Fredwin and Skippy who have met her.
And after I give her the book, I'll kind of bow and kind of scrape my way away from her.
Greetings, noble bird lady. Do you have something to do with the disturbance at the docks?
No, but this book does, and I'm happy to have it away. Thank you very much for your service. We will speak again, Skippy. And as she turns to leave, a shadow falls over the city. And if you choose to look up, you see a massive, scaly form sailing over the city with wings spread out. And it is flying directly for the library.
Anybody else a little worried about that?
It's really not my fault.
I'll attempt to hide in shadows behind the orc.
I'm reasonably sure that was no bird.
Grun's going to run towards the library to try to make sure there's nobody there.
Sarikwa, as Grun runs off, Sarikwa turns to Skippy and says, I'm going to need your service earlier than I thought. I need this book gone, out of the city, to safety.
Absolutely, madam. Where can I take it?
There's a druid alcove to the south, beyond the Sand Snake Temple. You must take the book to them. They'll know what to do with it.
I will take the book back and it will disappear into the folds of his cloak kind of very quickly, and I will start to head off in the other direction.
Noble bird lady, will securing this halfling and the book on its journey prevent more of the skeletons?
I'm not sure if anything will prevent the skeletons. My network of informants has told me that Steamton has fallen. There is someone with them who is seeking knowledge, and I barely found out that they were looking for this particular book. If they get it, I fear what will happen.
Steamton. I have a couple of cousins out there.
Not anymore.
Well, in that case, I think that our little Skippy here might need an escort if there's someone hunting this book.
I recommend taking provisions and getting out of town as quickly as possible. I will muster my network to slow down anybody that I can. However, if they're sending, and she looks back towards the library, something like that, I don't know if any of us are safe.
So, are you still mad about the bird?
I will forgive you for the bird, especially since it was my associate who sold you the store.
What? Why would you do...
And she leaves without answering your questions.
Well, noble Skippy, it seems like I am joining you at least for a while. I am from the Sand Snake Temple, so I will join you at least that far. I do suggest we go past the library to see if there's anything going on, and also to gather Kin Grun.
I think that's a terrible idea. Did you see the size of that thing that's going to the library? I think we need to go directly to the druid's place. We need to keep this book far away from the people that are going for it.
The size of things matters little about its capabilities. You, noble halfling, should understand that.
Grun, you come bursting out of an alley, and you see an enormous draconic form twined around the library and squeezing with all of its might. It is skeletal in nature, and you can see the bricks of the library shifting beneath its clawed feet.
Okay. Given where the entrance to the library is, does the dragon have its back to me?
It's not paying any attention to you, if that's what you're wondering. There are people running and screaming through the streets all over the place, but its focus is entirely on the library.
Okay, then I'm just going to make sure that the area around the library gets cleared out and try to get as many people away as possible, but then I'm going to try and find a spot to watch and see what the dragon continues to do.
The dragon continues to tear apart the library brick by brick, and it's not long before the whole thing collapses. And there are a few people who manage to escape the destruction, running away from the library, and they turn. Some of them are spellcasters throwing spells at the dragon just before it flies off back to the north.
All right, so I'll rush to the library and check to see if there was anybody still in there, anybody to get out.
Make a perception check.
I hope our favorite librarian is okay.
Yes, I think I'm going to be sick.
You do hear voices in the rubble of people moaning and crying out in pain.
All right, so I'm going to try to remove bricks, get as many people out, and try calling out to anybody who's nearby to help.
Okay, first roll a persuasion check to see how many people come and help. You get a couple of people who come to help, but most of them have run screaming from the library and aren't in any mental condition to come back and help at all. So you can make a strength check to move some stones. With the help of the villagers, you do manage to move shift a couple of stones around and pull a couple of people to safety, but you can still hear more voices deeper underneath. Everybody else, while Grun is rescuing people from the library, what are you up to?
So I'm gonna try to help rescue people from the library too.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys add your muscle to Grun's. Whoever has the highest athletics check, you can roll with advantage.
Well, actually, what I want to do is pull 2 more critters out of my bag of tricks because I get 3 a day.
Okay.
My athletics is +3.
I've got a 6.
After you, please.
So that's
There
an
we go.
ape and a tiger. So that tiger's probably not very useful, but the ape can go and get bricks and stuff.
Yeah. Everybody together makes really good headway, and you manage to pull a few more people out of the mess.
I will say, okay, we've saved the people now. We need to go now.
Agreed. If we have what they were here for, we should get it out of town.
Are we sure we have the right thing?
Well, the bird lady looked at it.
This is
Well, that
my
was from
town,
somebody,
and
I
I
think.
am not leaving until I've done what I can to help these people and spoken to Father Sean. I'm not acting on the words of some shifty woman.
Kin Grun, it does make sense that this book is what that monster was looking for, and if this book is tied to what's threatening the town, then we do need to quicken it away.
We do, but the beast has already been here and has not found the book. What are the odds it's going to return? simply running headlong following the words of this woman, I don't think are necessarily wise. I'm not saying we won't do this, but let us first seek some counsel, perhaps.
Skippy is wringing his hands and there's no time for counsel. We need to act now. Danger is upon us. And is it possible for me to roll like oh no, I have no persuasion. I was going to say persuasion to try to put some force behind my words, but
Yeah, normally I don't allow social roles against other players. It's more like you just discuss amongst yourselves, and if someone feels really strongly against someone else's plan, then they can voice that. So if you say something that seems like a reasonable plan to everyone else and they want to go along with it, that's fine. But yeah, the skills I usually use with NPCs.
Well, I kind of agree that we need to get out of here ASAP and figure out what this druid place is about, because I don't think we're getting any answers here.
Kin cleric, these folks, they are making sense to me, and where they are heading is past my monastery. So I will guide them at least as far as the monastery. In the meantime, why don't you go and seek the counsel of your elders?
Agreed. I will seek out Father Sean and meet you at the monastery.
Can we agree that we will go no further than the monastery and wait for King Grun to join us?
I think the fewer people who know where the book is probably better. So
I
as
just-
long as we don't leave a whole bunch of people behind us who know where this object lies, perhaps that is not a bad idea.
I seek only to speak with Father Sean. He and I have had visions of these undead and of a disturbance in the balance of life and death. I must speak to him of what has just occurred.
You might mention as well that I have had no contact from the Silver Flame for some days now.
I'm sorry to hear. I shall ensure to mention that to him. That is indeed great import. I shall...
Nor have my kin.
That is very troubling. I shall indeed return to you at the monastery with whatever information I can obtain from Father Sean. I shall speak to no one else of what has occurred and what we do.
Share also the visions that I have had during meditation that I have spoken with you about, and that the clarity has come to a wave of death setting upon us.
Indeed, I shall. Thank you for your permission to share that. I shall hurry and rush to the monastery as quickly as I am able to, and I will hurry off unless anybody else had something to say.
I would like to make one last argument that we move past the monastery. It would just expand the group of people that know, and the wisdom that we seek. We are been told that we'll find it with the druids, and as people that live around this area, I'm sure you understand the wisdom of the druids could guide us in this dark time.
I don't disagree, but it seems silly to run off on a journey where we may be chased without having a full company. And my abilities to heal have vanished.
My spells have depleted for the day. I do not believe we all have the necessary provisions for a lengthy trip. What good would we be if we could not reach the Druid Grove safely?
Yeah, and we don't have to tell the people at the monastery what this thing is.
Agreed. I will need to speak with my elder, but beyond explaining that I plan to journey onward, if that's what he wishes, then the rest of the monastery need not know why we are there. I'm sure they would put us up.
I mean, besides, it's a monastery. They have beer.
Yes, we do.
Well, can we at least be away? We need to go now.
Grun will run off and head back to Father Sean.
Let us be off.
One more stop, folks. I do need to report to my captain that I'll be out of town for a while. But I'll make no mention of the book or the bird lady.
Skippy rolls his eyes and his shoulders kind of slump in dejected acquiescence to her request.
Okay, so just so we're all on the same page here, Ariadna's captain is in the barracks on the west side of town, so that's about an hour's journey away. The rest of you would be heading to the southeast gate, and that's, well, if Skippy's leading you, it'll probably be about an hour away. And yes, Gaelen, your cart was pretty close to the pub.
Oh, I go where Ari goes, so I'm with her.
Okay.
Okay, then it makes sense to me. If Ari, you have things you need to take care of, you must go and take care of those. Fredwin, you are going to stick with her. King Grun is on his way, and Noble Skippy, stick with me and you will be safe. We have one quick task to take care of, and then we can haste ourselves away.
Another task?
What part of emergency don't you guys understand?
An ale delivery is an emergency.
You want to deliver beer?
Well, actually, I happen to know a guard who's stationed not too far from here today, and I could pass the message on to my captain that way. I'll likely get in trouble, but forgiveness is sometimes better than permission.
An elegant solution.
Yeah, you guys are close to the pub, which is also close to the market square. There's lots of guards there. And you do find one of your comrades from the army doing some shopping in the market area. So yeah, he doesn't ask any questions, just says that he'll let the captain know that you might be away for a little bit.
Great.
And Gaelen, you get the cart to the pub. No problem. They thank you very much for the delivery. They always appreciate the spirits from the Sand Snake Temple, and they anticipate having a lot of people coming for drinks. What with the library having just collapsed a couple of streets over. Grun, you've got a head start on everybody else, and so you make it to Father Sean's hut, which is fairly close to your own, just outside of the walls of the city. And he is at home when you get there.
Father, have you heard anything from Kelemvor?
Deeply troubling. It's not so much words as visions that Kelemvor has been passing to me of undead, countless in number, swarming the lands. I fear the north has fallen.
Father, a gnomish ship has crashed into the docks, and upon it were undead.
It's as I feared. Was anybody injured?
Yes, people were injured, but the worst was not the zombies and skeletons upon the ship, but what came after, and I'll fill in the father as to the events that occurred after.
Okay. This is most troubling. I will head into the city and see what I can do to help the people there. I'm sure there must be many bodies that will need to be buried over the coming days.
Indeed, but Father, I do not believe I can stay and help you. I feel that I have to follow this book. Something about my dream says that I need to head out and seek out more about what is happening.
I understand. Your fate lies on a different path from mine. Get the book to safety. I will speak of it to no one.
Thank you, Father. Please keep yourself safe and those of the town. I will return as soon as possible with news.
May Kelemvor watch over you.
And you. And I will head out to town, to the monastery.
Gaelen, on your way out of town, please make another Constitution saving throw. All right. So you guys all head to the temple, and yeah, you get there, and it's fairly far removed from town. It's nightfall by the time you get there, and the monks show no signs of worry or distress. They don't know what happened in the city.
So quick, let's tell your friends and we'll move on to the druid's place as quickly as possible.
I'm sorry, did you say what time it was in the day?
It's evening.
Skippy, it is late in the evening. Perhaps we should hold up and set out first thing in the morning.
I agree. We've all had a long day. And we need to wait for the cleric.
And beer.
He'll mutter to himself about sleeping and when there's work to be done and stuff like that, and basically kind of sulk.
Okay. So it's not long before Grun catches up with you guys in the temple.
I spoke to my father, the father, Sean, and indeed Kelemvor has sent feelings that the North has fallen to these undead. We definitely need to be cautious of anything coming from the North. Who knows what more ships or other such transport may contain these undead.
Your elder is wise. If you would excuse me, I will check with mine. Gaelen will look to find Uri the Gentle.
You find him meditating out in the main hall with many other initiates.
Gaelen will approach him. Forgive my intrusion, Elder Uri. May I have a moment?
Of course, child. What is it?
Our wonderful town has been set upon by the undead. It seems to me that my visions are in fact coming true. I'm greatly concerned. I have stumbled upon a small group of people that seem to be taking a book that has been implicated as something of interest to these dark forces. They have been charged with taking the book to the druids.
Is the city still in danger?
I do not know. We destroyed the creatures that poured out of the boat, but there was a flying monster of some sort that I can only surmise that it was looking for this book at the library and didn't find it because we have it in our possession.
Come with me. And Uri stands and goes to a back room that you've never been allowed to enter previously. It's where they bring the offerings of the day for storage and safekeeping that people come to the temple and leave. Inside, you find crates and casks filled with food and drink. You find chests of coins and riches, and in the middle of this large room is a statue of a very tall serpent with ruby eyes that stare down at you and seem to follow you wherever you go. And Uri says, please, wait a moment. I must speak with the serpent.
Gaelen does exactly that.
Okay. So Uri goes to the large statue in the middle of the room and kneels down, and you can hear him muttering something. If you want to try to listen in, you can make a perception check. You hear him utter a name that you can't quite make out, but he is beseeching the Sand Snake to awaken, for the city is in danger, and they're in need of its aid once more. And when he finishes speaking, you see that the floor at the back of the room is sand, and it begins to ripple with movement. And it's not long before you see a scaled head rise up from the sands, and it stares at you and says, "What tidings do you bring?"
So this thing is addressing me.
Yes.
Gaelen will drop to his knees in meditation, and pardon me. I bring news of great darkness that is coming upon us.
I have survived many great darknesses. What is it you speak of in specifics, please?
I have seen visions of blood flowing through the sand. I've seen a wave of darkness overtaking everything, and it's all death. I know that we have a book that I feel this darkness wants.
Is it death or undeath that you have seen in your visions?
Yes, of course. Of course, that's it. Undeath. And a lot of it.
It's a day my mother spoke of with terror in her heart. I had hoped to never know it myself. I shall make myself known once more and return unto Khor'thun and vanquish any foe who would dare stand against me. And the entire temple begins to tremble as this massive scaled figure continues to erupt from the sands before you. And soon you see legs and wings as this brass dragon fills the space. And it climbs up the statue in the middle of the room and pushes aside the stones on the roof before lifting off and through the temple roof, and it's gone.
I sit in silence waiting to see what Elder Yuri has to say.
The Sand Snake is mighty, yet I cannot discount your visions if the Sand Snake itself takes them seriously. You say you have a book to deliver. I suggest you do that. Take what provisions you need from the temple. We have much, as you can see, much and more that we can share. If you're going to the Druids, they are a day and a half to the south of us. I wish you all good speed, and I hope that your delivery is welcome.
Elder Yuri, shall our group set out immediately or stay for the night?
We can offer you hospitality this night. However, if the Sand Snake returns with dire news, then you may have your rest disturbed. But better to leave well rested than not, if you can manage it.
I will convey your hospitality. You are wise, and thank you.
Okay, so he ushers you out of the back room. Everybody else who's outside, you did hear the sounds of stone scraping on stone and the temple shaking for a moment. but it passed, and Gaelen returns to you.
What news, friend?
Well, first, we are welcome to stay the evening. It is Elder Yuri tells me that it's a day and a half travels to the Druids, and we should stay. We are welcome to, and set out fresh in the morning. And I have been told that I shall accompany you, and so, Kin Skippy, if you will have me, I will join you on your journey.
Why do you keep calling me Kin Skippy?
It seems an appropriate thing to call you.
Well, I'm happy to have people accompany me, but we need to make speed.
Yeah, but if you leave now, you're like gonna go face down in the dirt in about 2 hours or so because we're all tired. So rest can help with speed.
Indeed.
Oh, fine. Well, let's get to sleep then. So early to bed, early to rise. We have places to go.
Galen's happy to test just how much alcohol anyone is willing to consume.
I definitely need a beer.
Is that before or after the night's rest?
Before,
Both.
while settling, how do you sleep sober?
I'm going to go with both.
Sounds good.
Skippy's probably a little too wound up to be drinking right now. He paces back and forth, kind of shooing you guys to bed whenever you suggested, or looking at the clock, and like, well, time to bed. Try to go to bed.
Well, I suppose we could get an early-ish night. One beer's enough. I'm going to give Freddie a kiss on the cheek and go get some sleep.
Freddy's gonna blush and then go to sleep.
Okay, anybody doing anything before sleeping?
I'm going to attempt to commune with Kalemvor.
Give me a religion check. During your prayers, you don't feel anything beyond the normal sense of unease that you've had in recent times.
Galen might let something slip if he's had a couple. When his reverence is maybe a little lowered, something along the lines of, "They bring a dragon, we bring a bigger dragon."
What do you mean, a dragon? What do you mean they bring a dragon? We bring a dragon. We have a dragon?
Galen will comment no further on dragons.
Skippy probably won't be able to go to bed until he's sure everybody else has gone to bed.
Does everybody go to bed before Skippy?
Yep.
I guess I don't hardly have anything for him to steal.
No, not really. Okay, Skippy, you're the last one up.
I find a hole that I can kind of crawl into with all my stuff and kind of pile it into a ball in front of me and curl up and go to sleep.
All right, so next morning comes, and there's been no interruption to your sleep.
I'm going to get up and have a stretch and maybe a little bit of prayer time.
Yeah, your prayers are not met with any answers of any kind. You feel empty, as though your God has completely abandoned you.
Well, I'm generally just worried about my God now.
Uri the Gentle approaches Gaelen in the morning and lets you know that there is a cart with 2 mules that they're giving to you to take any provisions that you need along the way.
Thank you so much, Elder Yuri.
Lots of water.
Skippy will eye up the thing. Are they fast mules?
Not particularly.
Faster than plate turtles. I'm going to shuck my backpack off and drop it into the cart.
As will Grun.
Okay. So yeah, you've got a cask of water in the cart. as well as a crate of food. It should be more than enough for your journey to the Druids and back.
I'd like to also thank the abbot.
Fredwin, do you even know what this book is about?
Well, so the librarian basically told me it was bad and that people could use it to do very evil things. And so I thought, hey, why don't we just leave it alone? But then one day, this halfling came in and kind of bullied me into helping him get it. So now here we are.
Skippy, have you read the book?
Well, I was gonna read it, because I can, and I just didn't have a chance to yet.
But you had the wisdom to not read a dark evil book out loud in the darkness.
Well, I was just thinking maybe, you could let Fred check the title at least to make sure it's the right book.
I'll kind of pull the book out. I assume we're kind of traveling right now, but I'll pull the book out and let Fredwin look at the cover.
Yikes.
Gaelen will raise his active awareness if and when the book is out.
I don't want this thing. I hand it back to Ari.
Well, at least take a look at it. I'm not saying read anything out loud. Just look at it. Does it look evil?
It looks like a book. It looks like a book it looks kind of expensive, actually.
The cover of it is bound in gold, and the cover is split half in white and half in black, and there are gold letters on the spine of it that say "The War of Light and Dark" by Cord Hammersmite.
So it's about the war of light and dark, and it doesn't seem like something you'd want to read while going to the bathroom or anything.
Cleric, do you think that you could make heads or tails of whether or not this book is evil?
I could indeed spend some time reading through it and see what it contains.
Well, why are you going to read it? Because the librarian said that it contains knowledge that could be really bad. She seemed like a very trustworthy person. Yes, she was scary. Yes, she was kind of mean. But at the end of the day, she was very protective of her books, and for good reason. So maybe we should, take the book to the Druids and let them handle it. I don't know.
It is a wise observation.
I agree.
I'm for whatever doesn't get us killed.
All right. So I'm going to hand the book back to Skippy.
Okay, and he makes it disappear.
Of course, we could, I don't know, throw the book in a volcano or something.
Well, sometimes things that have, important knowledge in them should maybe not be destroyed because they might have knowledge about how to stop bad things too.
Great point. Great point. Well made.
Also, there aren't any volcanoes around here.
I don't know. Mount Doom's always been on my bucket list.
I'm pretty sure my captain would get mad.
Perhaps the Druids will charge us with exactly that task, tossing the book into a volcano.
I'm going to be on latrine duty forever. Can we just get moving now? Aren't we on the road already?
Yep, you guys are going along with your mule-drawn cart, and around midday it does start to get quite warm and very humid as heavy rain starts to fall.
What? Thought we were in the desert.
Monsoon season.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to enjoy the bloom then.
Being from the area, would I know if this is out of season at all?
This isn't anything out of the ordinary during the rainy season. The rains can last for a few hours with just torrential downpour, but it only happens a couple of times usually in the year.
Well, we should probably set up just in case the rains keep up for a while. Travel when the rains have passed.
Are you concerned about your armor?
I'm concerned about our visibility and the safety of the cart and the mules. Sand and torrential rain don't mix well.
The temple did supply you with a couple of tents, so if you want to take shelter while it's raining, that's fine.
Setting up tents in the rain, almost as fun as latrine duty. I'll help.
If the rain's only going to last a couple hours, are we really going to set up tents for that?
Maybe not like the full tents, but we can like use the tarp, the canvas of the tent to put over the wagon, provide us with a little bit of protection from the rain.
I think that's an excellent idea. Let us create a covered wagon.
All right, so you guys have your giant wagon, and it really is amazing how the rain changes the desert around you. All of a sudden, there's colors and greenery and the sounds of life, where it had been rather quiet before. There are lizards basking in the puddles and seem almost playful in them. Snakes, all manner of desert life is out and enjoying the rain.
Better keep a tight leash on Fizzle, Freddy.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He is a familiar after all. We can't communicate telepathically, though most of it's like woof woof. I want that rabbit, that sort of thing. But
Gaelen will, being half elf, being wild elf, will probably quite enjoy the weather. In fact, probably would remove his outer robes.
Skippy will stand in the rain like a soaked, kind of dejected dog, waiting for it to stop.
Ariadna just stands around and appreciates the show from Gaelen.
So in terms of positioning, where are you guys in relation to the cart?
Oh, I'm staying in the cart. It seems like the safest place to be.
I'm in the cart.
Nearby.
I think, tactically speaking, Gaelen would suggest that our plate turtle stay near the front of the caravan, and Gaelen would take up the rear because he has the mobility to get to the front.
Sounds good.
I'm basically kind of right beside the cart, moping.
Okay. So you're continuing on to the south, and anybody who is outside of the cart near the front can make a perception check.
Sort of warning, so we can't be surprised, and it'll basically, if anything tries to sneak up on us, it'll alarm at me and any of my companions within 30 feet.
Okay. It's not sneaking up on you. But you can't be surprised. Let me just check on it quickly.
Yeah, even if we're asleep, we can't be surprised.
Okay, so then you guys get initiative rolls, and it doesn't get a surprise round. But you don't see it.
Wait, if we don't see it, never mind.
Wow, I don't know what's going on.
My sword is ringing an alarm. Something's about to attack us.
I'm more what's going on with my initiative rolls. That's 2 1s.
That's amazing.
That is pretty amazing.
I think you need more caffeine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just gonna start crushing up any caffeine beans we see, and Grun will start eating them like almonds.
Maybe less beer.
Wow, we're all kind of dragging our feet.
Yeah, nobody rolled really well that time. So Ariadna and Gaelen, you guys are tied for first. I think probably Gaelen has the higher dex. So Gaelen, Ariadna has let you know that there's something coming, but you don't see anything at this point.
I will assume that it is near her and not near me. So I will close on her, trying to see if I see anything, and just basically close so that we have backs together.
Okay, you've got the cart with the two mules between you. So how are you going to get over there?
So that's so I have a speed of 35. If in that, I guess if I don't, I'll use my dash action if it takes that to get to her.
I'm just not sure what path you're going to take. If you're going to go in front of the mules, or over the mules, or over the cart, or under the cart. You can get there wherever you want.
I will do it as cool as I possibly can, given the distance. So, how far away is she?
She's only 15 feet away.
Okay. I guess. Well, I'll skirt to the side of the cart and just scoot along the right side.
Okay. So you get over to the other side and you still don't see anything.
Okay, I will hold my action. If I see something that is not familiar to me, I headbutt it.
Sounds good. Ariadna, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to draw my Uncle Clor's sword that was kind enough to warn us that something bad's coming, and prepare an attack and take a really hard look around. Is it still raining?
Fredwin, you are up in the cart, and you get to go next.
Okay, well, I am going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Sounds good. And out of the sand ahead of you, immediately in front of the mules, leaps this enormous giant spider. A trap door kind of flies up from it, and it just leaps out and attacks one of your mules.
Is that the mule that's standing near me?
No, it's on the other side.
Can I yell at the spider? Like, stupid spider.
You think you're so cool with all your legs and eyes?
And the mule goes down.
Not Stuart. No, Stuart.
And it's Skippy's turn.
Skippy will immediately pull out his hand crossbow and attempt to fire at the ginormous spider eating our cart.
Okay.
Is there? Would I have a sneak attack on that?
No, you don't have any allies within 5 feet.
Okay.
14 is a hit.
Skippy makes friends with the thing. And is it possible to duck behind the cart after I make my fire?
Yeah, you're right beside the cart, so you can move behind it if you want.
Will do.
Grun.
All right, so I would like to poke my head out of the cart and cast Sacred Flame on the spider. So it has to make a dex save of 13.
It fails.
So that's 3 radiant.
And Gaelen, it's your turn.
I only see the one spider.
Yep.
I will close on it and around it if possible to leave the paladin a flanking position.
Okay. As you go around the spider, another one jumps out at you.
Okay. Then I will attack.
Does a 15 hit your armor class?
No.
All right.
So does that mean I can still continue around to give that potential flanking?
You're right beside the spider right now that's on top, that's taken down the mule. And the other spider is kind of beside you as you're facing that spider. So if you try to get around that spider to give flanking, it will get an attack of opportunity on you.
And if I don't, it will have flanking? Is that right?
Yes, they will be able to flank you.
So the one that just attacked me, it used its reaction, so it won't get an attack of opportunity, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I will step away from that one, but not step away from the one that could still get an attack of opportunity. My most important, I just don't want them to have flanking on me.
Yep, you can get on the other side of the giant spider, so that you've got you're on the right-hand side, and the other mule is on its left-hand side.
Does the mule keep flanking?
You couldn't move quite far enough to, like, if Ariadna comes over the mule or under the mule to attack it, she'll have flanking.
Okay, I will attack.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm going to be competent to climb over a mule in the middle of combat, but
It'll be pretty funny if you try. Ooh, nice one.
Oh, that is nice. Well, it looked nice a moment ago.
That's still not bad. I mean,
It's
you're only rolling
nice.
fours, right?
I'll take my second attack against that one,
That's a miss.
and that's me.
Ariadna.
I'm not really comfortable vaulting animals in my plate. So I'm gonna go around it if I can. I'm not encumbered at the moment, so there's that.
Yeah, you only have to move 10 feet to get into range of both of the spiders.
Is there a position where I can flank it without having to climb over the mule? Either one of them?
Unfortunately not. The mule is taking up all of the space on its on the side that is opposite Gaelen.
Why do they have to eat the skinny one? Okay, well, I'm gonna attack the spider that was chomping on the mule.
Okay. So you come up around the head of the mule that isn't being eaten, and you can get a clear shot.
There we go.
14 hits. And down it goes. One spider taken care of. Fredwin, you're up next.
Well, I'm going to throw an ice bolt at the other guy.
That's a hit.
I apparently made him slightly uncomfortable.
He's a little bit chilly now. The other spider is going to attack Ariadna, since she's right there.
That's a miss.
And it misses. Skippy, you're up.
Okay, is there any way that I can move into a flanking position with any of these spiders? Or this last spider?
No, you're at the opposite end of the cart and mules. And I think your movement is 25, right?
Correct. So is there anything in my way for a crossbow bolt?
No, as long as you move out from behind the cart.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll fire my crossbow. And do I have sneak attack on it?
Yes, you would. That's a miss.
Blah.
And Grun, you're up.
Alright, so I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on the remaining spider.
Okay.
So DC 13 Dex.
Oh, it just failed.
Oh, come on.
Our spellcasters are doing awesome tonight.
At least my healing numbers were decent.
Okay, back to the top of the order. We've got Gaelen.
So just a quick look around myself to get if there's a step I can make to get flanking with the paladin and not provide cover against the rogue.
Yes, you can get behind the spider, and that would give you flanking right now.
That's where I'll go. And attack.
Yep, that's a hit. Okay, so it's Ariadna's turn now.
Oh, if that didn't kill it, I'll take my second attack.
Oh, okay. Also a hit. Okay, it's still up, although it's not looking so great. Ariadna, you're up next.
Sword.
Smack. And down goes spider number 2.
Woo.
Where the heck did those things come from?
Sand spiders.
I am definitely not leaving this cart.
Remind me to light a candle for my uncle who gave me this sword. Meanwhile, who has any skill at butchering? Because I'm pretty sure this poor mule shouldn't go to waste.
Or the spiders, for that matter.
I am not eating a spider.
I'm generally less sold on the spiders. They taste pretty stringy.
I've had meal before. They taste great. Skippy would like to go and kind of investigate the hole that they came out of.
Sure.
Are you insane? There could be more of them down there.
Better to know that than to let them ambush us, and Grun will go check out the other hole.
So is there like a cover on it? Like, did they weave a cover for it?
Yeah, they wove kind of a trap door cover to it that has sand stuck to it, so it gives it perfect camouflage.
Okay, I'll try to open up the trap.
Give me an athletics check.
If I do a backflip with it, can I use acrobatics instead?
No.
I
All
could
right.
give you a hand with it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, I can't get the other one.
Yeah, you managed to pry it up, and you find some remains inside the hole where the spider had been hiding.
What kind of remains?
Looks humanoid.
I'll jump in and investigate the remains.
Gaelen will try and help Grun with the other one.
Okay. You find digging through the remains 9 gold pieces in the one that you guys have managed to open so far.
For the other one.
9 gold, 5 people.
And in the other one you find 12 gold.
Grun's gonna check around, make sure there's not more of these traps around.
Make a perception check.
How about survival?
You could do a survival check too, if that's better.
I give up.
The desert looks so pretty now.
It's so green. Look at all the little creatures.
But Gaelen, you notice that the trap doors don't seem to have bloomed the same way that most of the desert has. And looking around, you do see that there are potentially many more trap doors scattered across the desert. And even while you're looking, you see one spider leap up and attack a lizard that was walking in front of its hole and drag it kicking and screaming underneath again.
All right, everyone, if you pay close attention, you can actually see these traps as they have not bloomed the way the rest of the desert has. I suggest, as there are many, many of them, that we move on.
Well, are there any in the road, in the path?
You're not really on a road right now. You're just kind of making your way through the desert. But this isn't a well-traveled area to the Druid Alcove.
So that was a perception roll, by the way. Can
Okay.
I see bare places in front of us, like near our path?
Yes, you can. But you can find a pathway between them. Like there's large areas between most of the traps, so you can navigate safely through.
Okay, well, let's do that then. A couple of you guys want to help me throw this mule in the cart so we don't have to waste it?
Yep, I can.
And is the single mule capable of pulling the cart, or are we going to have to push?
The single mule is having difficulty with the dead mule in the back, along with a couple of people and all of your stuff.
Okay, everybody's walking, and if the
I don't
if the
wanna
single
walk.
mule is too bad, and if the single mule is still having trouble, I will push from the rear of the cart.
Hold on. I'm gonna toss an animal out of my bag.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not a squirrel.
No, it's a black bear. That can pull a cart.
Might give the other mule a heart attack, but sure.
Yeah, that mule is not happy to have a black bear beside it. Do you actually control the animal that you pull out of that bag?
Yeah, it's friendly to my companions and it takes simple commands.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can. The harness that it wasn't made for a black bear, but if you give me a survival check, you might be able to jury rig it so that it'll work.
I'll try.
The harness was destroyed in the attempt.
Well, I'm going to ride on the black bear then.
Okay.
I'll carry my gear and walk.
Fine, I guess we can leave the mule behind.
Her name is Bethany.
Seems a shame.
Well, I think the spiders will enjoy it.
Probably. Upside. I'm going to cut out a couple of steaks real quick, though.
Give me a survival check for carving up the mule. As you cut some steaks out of the mule, you realize that the meat is all poisoned.
Oh, well. Never mind then, I guess. Wait, you know what? Actually, I'm going to hold on to the steaks I started to cut out anyway. I'm not going to touch them. But they might come in handy later. Chucking them in the wagon.
Sounds good.
Actually, that's got me thinking now that she mentions that it's poisoned. Can I harvest any poison from the one that didn't bite the mule?
You can certainly try, yeah. Give me a survival check.
Now, if I don't have that skill, can I roll it?
Yes.
Don't roll a 1.
Please roll a 1.
Oh, I make a mess out of it.
Yeah, you don't really know what you're doing, and you don't really have anything to put the poison in, and it just kind of makes a mess and leaks all over the sand.
All right, then. Let's continue.
All right, so you continue on for the rest of the day, avoiding the spider minefield, as Gaelen put it, and you get through that area, and it starts to get dark.
Shall we look for a place to camp?
It seems prudent.
And we're not in a spider minefield?
No, you made it through the spider minefield, and you're just in a nice bloomed section of desert, and the dunes go on as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, I guess it's time to set up camp. Actually, how hot has it been during the day?
With the rain for a couple of hours, it actually didn't get up too hot today.
I'm wondering, should we kind of start switching over to desert travel times, traveling more into the night and less in the afternoons?
Well, I mean, I think our spellcaster friends might need some time to reset, at least.
Unfortunately, my bear goes away at dawn.
We could travel through the dawn, though. But it's going to be dark, and we might run into some more spider mines or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to run into any more spiders.
Or heaven forbid, something worse.
Oh, that is fair argument.
So what's the plan? Are you going to continue traveling in the evening or set up camp for the night?
I think we should set up camp.
Set up camp.
I agree.
For once, I agree with the halfling bully.
You guys set up your 2 tents. Yeah.
I sleep underneath the cart.
If we intend to set some sort of a night watch, consider that I am an elf and only need a portion of the sleep that others require. And also, as an elf, I can see in the darkness.
The other thing to consider is that my uncle's sword would wake us up if something came nearby with an intent to attack.
That was incredibly handy.
Well, my Uncle Clor always told me, never get caught with your pants down.
However, it's still wise to keep an eye out for those who may not wish us harm in the physical sense, but harm otherwise, such as thieves.
We cannot be surprised.
Forgot about that.
But I think it's still a good idea to have a watch.
I agree. I think somebody should be ready with a weapon in case something does happen.
Or ready without a weapon, as the case may be.
I think, given the warning, I'm probably the most vulnerable because I have to take off my armor to sleep.
Well, the bear doesn't despawn until dawn, so she can kind of keep watch for a while.
True.
That's a fair point.
So, how about this? We'll have the bear take first watch, maybe with someone and the sword, and then I will take the last watch because the bear will despawn at some point in that watch.
If we set the bear to watch for the first 4 hours, that is all the time I need to rest, and I can watch the remainder of the night.
Sounds good.
That works.
All right. So who's sleeping where for the night?
Everybody stay within about 30 feet.
I'm going to sleep in the cart.
I'm also in the cart.
I'm under the cart.
In a tent next to the cart.
I will just trance at the back of the cart, behind the cart.
Okay.
I do my my prayers and stuff before going to sleep.
Okay. Gaelen, make a perception check during your watch.
Oh, and I am still going to pat Fizzle on the head and kiss Freddy on the cheek before bedtime.
While everybody else is sleeping, you hear kind of the sound of the desert is noisy at night, as insects and animals take advantage of the cooler temperatures. But you do notice that the buzzing and clicking sounds seem to be getting louder. And from the back of the cart, you can hear the noises intensifying closer to the front of the cart.
I'll reach into the cart and grab the halfling's leg and shake it. And
He's under the cart.
Sorry, you're under the cart. So I will reach into the cart and grab the halfling's leg and shake it. And as I walk around to the front, towards the front of the cart, I will shake the paladin's tent and say, "Alert!"
I will try to put my armor on, I guess, again.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah, but there's nothing like fighting in your underpants.
True.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing like it.
So you guys can roll initiative as this swarm of insects comes rolling along the desert.
So did you wake up those of us in the cart?
I did not wake the spellcasters, but if...
The sword will alarm and wake everybody.
Oh, the sword alarms. Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind that.
The sword warns everybody who is friendly to me within 30 feet of me.
Skippy will stretch and slowly get out of bed and kind of wander over to the battle.
I'm sorry, you were wanting me to roll something?
Initiative, please.
Oh, right.
Yeah, sorry.
And I'm going to get up, but I'm not going to put my armor on. I'm going to cast Shield of Faith instead.
I totally misrolled that first thing, so mine's 12.
Okay.
Hooray!
So this swarm of biting insects comes sweeping into the area and crawls all over Gaelen, biting.
How big are these?
It's a medium-sized swarm of tiny beasts. I'm guessing a 17 hits.
Yeah, it does.
You take 12 points of piercing damage.
Well, that drops me.
Yeah, so you're at 0 health.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give up on the armor. Sword and shield it is.
Now, I don't have to make a death roll because it wasn't double my health, right?
If it was double your health, you would be instantly killed without death saves. Because you're dropped to not double your max health, then you are at 0 hit points and you make a death save every turn until you're either stabilized or dead.
Right, okay.
And it's your turn, so you get to roll your first death save. It's just a d20, and if you roll 9 or under, it's a fail. If you roll a 1, it's a double fail.
No crit fails.
Yeah, we hope not. And if you roll a 20, it's a double success.
And sorry, it's a con?
It's just a die 20.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think you add anything to it. So that's 1 fail. Next up is Fredwin.
Oh gosh, I don't even know what to do. I mean, there are bugs everywhere.
Yeah, there's this huge mass of bugs that just rose up and crawled all over Gaelen, and all of a sudden he was just down on the ground, and they're just all over him, biting him.
Are they still on him now? I mean, they hit him, but...
Yeah, they're on the same space that he's on, and they're all over him.
And if I try to hit these bugs with anything, it's going to probably hit him too.
Not necessarily.
Alright, well, I guess I'm going to try to cast Ray of Frost on the bugs.
Okay. That's a miss. Fredwin, tentative, not wanting to hit his monk friend with the Ray of Frost, fires off to the side and completely misses. Next up is Grun.
Fred.
Yes.
The bear.
Oh yeah, the bear.
Well, I can't imagine that the bear would do anything but maul.
Bears eat bugs all the time.
Okay, I'm gonna have the bear come over and try to eat the bugs.
Okay.
Don't crit fail.
So with claws, that is, or no, that would be a bite.
Yeah, it gets +3 to hit, and if you hit, it's die 6 +2 damage. That is also a miss. Now it's Grun's turn.
Okay, so Galen's at 0 hit points, right?
Yeah, they don't track negative, right?
No, you just go to 0 and then start making death saves.
Perfect. I'm using my bonus action to cast Healing Word, and because of Circle of Mortality, if I use a healing spell that uses a dice roll on a creature that's at 0 hit points, I use the highest dice roll. So you heal the 4 plus 3, so 7 hit points on that.
Nice.
And then I would like to use. Am I close enough to it?
You can get close enough.
All right. Can I get within flanking?
Can you flank a bug?
Oh, no.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if that's at all possible. Then I'm gonna try to get in close enough and use Word of Radiance, and I'm just gonna avoid it affecting Galen. So the bugs have to make a con save of 13.
They fail.
So that's radiant.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go try and swat a bug. With unarmed, I guess, because it seems pretty silly to slash a sword at a cloud of bugs. Is flanking possible now that there's somebody over there?
I'm going to say no, because you have to be careful that you're not hurting Galen under the bug swarm.
Also true.
That's a miss.
Well, crap. Nasty little spitters.
Skippy.
Yes, Skippy. What is he going to do? I guess probably spreading out the damage as much as he can. So he's going to try attacking with 2 daggers at the swarm. So he's going to move over there and try to attack.
Okay.
Does he get a sneak attack?
Yes.
Excellent.
The bugs never saw you coming.
Miss. Who knew the hardest fight that I'd send at you guys today would be a swarm of bugs?
Well, there's a crit, though.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep. So you do get your sneak attack dice on that too.
Double my sneak attack, right?
Yep.
Missed the space.
All right. You stab a whole bunch of bugs. They appear to be thinning out in numbers, which is good for you guys. Next up is the bugs. They're going to continue biting Gaelen.
Ouch.
Because they're just under half health, they do half damage now. So that's good.
There is that.
You take 5 points of biting damage. Arr. Next up is Gaelen.
Okay, I will start trying to swat bugs.
I want to see you drunken fight a swarm of bugs.
Yes.
That sounds delightful.
All right, they're still kicking, so if you want your second attack. Wow, you're really mad at those bugs.
Mostly, he's really thankful that he has a cleric.
No kidding. Fredwin, it's your turn.
So, I guess I'm just gonna try to freeze these things again.
Okay. And the last few bugs freeze up and die, leaving Gaelen with bite marks all over his body, but at least there's no more bugs.
I'll use my remaining spell slot to use Cure Wounds. See, at least I roll well on the healing.
Nice. That's good, since we're using the variant rules that you only get 1 hit point plus your con modifier at night when you're resting.
Yeah, so that I just need to keep this consistent through the entire campaign. No problem there.
No pressure.
Yeah, we won't hold it against you if you fail us.
Grun doesn't know why, but he has a really uneasy night.
Gaelen will specifically take some time to thank Kin Grun for twice now he's brought him back into the fight.
Oh, of course. I could not ever stand by and just let somebody fall before me, especially not a friend.
Friend Gaelen, have you tried not getting hit by them? That's what I do. It seems to work well for me.
I will try to keep that in mind, Kin Skippy. Thank you. Thank you for your guidance.
I'm gonna go back to bed now.
I don't know if I can sleep. Ugh.
Go to bed, Fred.
But all right.
So, Skippy, I've got a very serious question for you.
Yes.
Are you going to sleep under the cart again?
Maybe not so much.
On the cart it is.
All right, the rest of the night goes uneventfully.
Good to hear.
Yeah, of course we get uneventfully when I have my armor back on.
You still had to finish your sleep, though, right? So you wouldn't be in your armor.
Well, no, but I mean, I was taking last watch, so.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought Gaelen was taking the last watch because he only needed the 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, he was going to take his during my 4 hours awake.
Ah, okay. Sounds good. Right. Anyway, the next day, you guys wake up all alive, somewhat bug-eaten, and you guys continue on traveling the half day, and in the distance, in the shimmering of the heat of the day, you see a structure up ahead. And we'll leave it there.